Sonya Curry is an author, educator, and co-host of the podcast Raising Fame. She raised two sons, NBA stars Steph and Seth Curry, and daughter Sydel Curry-Lee. After keeping out of the limelight for many years, Sonya is telling her story in her new book, Fierce Love, a memoir of family, faith, and purpose, and how her faith has always sustained her, even in challenging times. Please welcome Sonya Curry.
Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you here. And for those who don't know, all three of your children are super elite athletes. Your two sons, Steph and Seth Curry, are both NBA superstars. I mean, I was so surprised that some of my friends here didn't know, my wife and my executive assistant know who that was. And I was like, do you know who Joanna Gaines is? Or something. I don't know. But it's a pretty awesome thing. I'm really interested in hearing your story. So first, let's begin there. Tell us a little bit about your faith journey and why you came to write this book.
Well, my faith journey has really been one of submission. Submission to the merciful, gracious, and loving authority of God, and realizing personally every day that the things that I may want, the things that the world can offer me or says they want to offer me or it wants to offer me, will never give me the joy and peace that my soul longed for. And I've tried I've been in the world. In my book, I talk about at age 12, where I went through confirmation classes and it was time to get baptized. And I was like, I'm not doing it because that means I can't have fun. So, my life moving forward has just been every day waking up and saying, God, you know best. You are sovereign in my life, and trust his word that when he says he will make known to me the paths of my life. And in his presence is fullness of joy. And at his right hand, there's pleasures forever and ever. And so I just keep that close in my heart every day.
That's awesome. One of the things I love about your family is, even though, there's all of this fame and money and all of the things that go with being NBA superstars, your sons and your daughter, they have an obvious love for God, and they are just like I think, and I know they're probably not this way, they're not as perfect as they seem, but they really are the ideal athlete that you want kids to look at. They're positive, they seem to be great on the field, and they're really outspoken about their faith. I think that's actually just an incredible thing in and of itself. It's an amazing accomplishment that with all of those thorny things that could have gotten in their way, they still clearly love the Lord. Tell us about that. Was it hard? Was it hard raising kids like that? Was it hard seeing them go into fame and money and worrying about, their personal lives and things like that?
Absolutely it is. Have been an NBA player, yes. Things come at you fast and furious. But, I always try to focus on the fact that we are no different than anyone else. Everyone has those same temptations. And just relying on the foundation of the word and training them in the way that they should go. But then also understanding that that's all that we can do as parents is raise them the best that we can and trust God to take over and water the seeds that have been planted in them, and just constantly praying for them. God, constantly.
I know you have said in the past that you've kind of been hidden in the background on purpose, but you've felt lately that you want to be out there more outspoken and tell your story a little bit. And that's a big part of your book, Fierce Love. Tell us about that. What experience was it like going from kind of behind the scenes to coming out in the public like this?
And I don't know if I deliberately wanted to stay in the background or now coming out of the background or coming forward. When God plants a fire in you and a purpose in you, you cannot do it. He will carry forth his desires in us one way or the other. And if we choose not to do it, he'll give it to someone else to do it. So, this book just came about organically 3 years ago, and one door opened, next door opened, and it was seamless and very organic. And this is the time. It was the perfect time. I didn't want to do it. I tried to quit several times, but God was just like, no, you have to tell the story and encourage parents in this journey. There's no instruction book for it, as you know.
Yeah, of course. What encouragement do you think do you have for people, that are trying to step boldly and kind of be, have more faith in their calling in the way that you're kind of feeling it in your life?
Well, I would say just do it. Just take it. And, God hasn't failed me yet. And that's my testimony to just how good he's been in my life. Is if I just take a step, it's scary. You doubt yourself. You worry what everybody's going to say and how they're going to critique you. And you critique yourself. But just take a step and he will meet you and he will carry you through.
Yeah, amen. Well, Sonya Curry, thank you so much. Her book is called Fierce Love. I really want to encourage you to get it, especially if you know someone that is wanting to step out bolder in faith, or especially if you know a basketball fan. Check out the book. You'll love it. It's a great story, and we so appreciate you, Sonya, taking the time to be with us this morning in your busy schedule. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me. You guys have a blessed day.